If you have been making YouTube videos for a while, you know that your thumbnail is perhaps one of the most important factors when it comes to getting more views on your videos. But if you have been struggling with your thumbnail strategy, if you have been getting low views, if you have low CTR, which is click-through rate, and if you have low watch time, then YouTube's new thumbnail A/B testing feature is going to solve so many problems in your life. And in this video, we are going to cover everything that you need to know about this new feature, everything from what it does, how you can use it, and how you can actually simplify using it with the help of AI. So go ahead, hit the subscribe button, and let's get started. So YouTube's official name for this feature is Test and Compare, and what it basically allows you to do is create and upload 3 separate thumbnails for one single video, and then YouTube essentially picks which is the best thumbnail for your video on the basis of how much percentage of watch time that thumbnail is getting you. It's super simple to use as is expected from YouTube, and at the time of recording this video, you will be able to see this feature on long form videos, on live streams that are finished, and on podcasts. But it's still not available for content that's made for kids for obvious reasons, content that's made for mature audiences again for obvious reasons, and for private videos. To access this feature, all you need to do is go to your YouTube studio, which is the back end of your YouTube videos, and you can even utilize this for already published videos. All you need to do is click on the details option and scroll down to the part where you can change your thumbnail essentially, and there you will have the option to test a new set of thumbnails. For newer videos, when you are uploading them, YouTube will automatically give you the option to test different thumbnails right there when you are uploading. So all of the basics clear. Now let's understand how this feature works in a little bit more detail. Now let's say that you have created 3 separate thumbnails for your video, like I have done for my video right here, as you can see in the screen recording, right? I've created 3 very different styles of thumbnails. So now when you upload these 3 thumbnails and when you start the test, YouTube basically shows every single thumbnail to a separate set of audience, a separate percentage of your YouTube audience, right? So thumbnail A will go to audience A, thumbnail B will go to a set of audience B, and thumbnail C will go to audience C. And when all of this is happening, YouTube is basically tracking which thumbnail generates the maximum watch time for your video. It shows this in the form of a percentage. For example, for this video, it shows me that thumbnail 1 is 36.8% of my watch time, thumbnail 2 is 34.3% of my watch time, and thumbnail 3 is 29%. So it's clear that thumbnail 1 here is the winner, right? And because the test has already run, it's now showing to all viewers as this thumbnail. Now you might be thinking, but how does YouTube decide a winner? And as you can see here, there's something called the estimated time remaining for this test, which is already finished. It ran from July 14th to July 15th. That's just one day or a little over 24 hours. But when you first start a thumbnail test, the actual time that it shows you on the timeline is around 12 days. Now that's the maximum amount of time that YouTube will take to test out the thumbnails, but the time it takes to figure out which thumbnail is the winner depends on a couple of different factors. The first factor is the number of impressions that the video has gotten. The more impressions that a video gets quickly, the lesser time it takes for YouTube to actually running that thumbnail test. And the second factor is the visual difference between your thumbnails. If they look very, very similar, it will take YouTube longer to figure out which is the winner. But if they look visually very different, like is the case with my video right here, then it takes YouTube a lesser amount of time to figure out which thumbnail is actually the best in terms of generating maximum watch time for your video. Now that you can see here that the test for this video is already complete and it's already won, and this thumbnail is now showing to all viewers, you might be wondering, how does YouTube exactly pick a winner? So now for me, every time that I have done this test on any of the channels that I operate, I have found that there is almost always a clear winner. Like the percentage difference is marked. I already have a sense of which thumbnail is going to do better when I am starting the thumbnail test, because I have been creating thumbnails for a really, really long time. But again, the way that YouTube decides the winner of the thumbnail is by figuring out which thumbnail shown to which audience is generating the maximum watch time percentage for your video, right? So as you can see here, for this thumbnail, it's 36.8%, which is like 2.5% more than the other, the next thumbnail, and of course, and substantially more than thumbnail number 3, which is just at 29%. So that's like a 7% difference. So this stands out as a clear winner. Now for some YouTube videos and for some people, YouTube also shows something called a preferred thumbnail. That has not happened for me so far, so I don't have like a frame of reference to give you guys, but for several people on YouTube it apparently shows a preferred thumbnail. So a winner is of course winner in terms of watch time, but a preferred thumbnail can also mean that it's preferred because it's also generating higher CTR. So if that happens with you, you might want to try both of them out alternatively and see which one then impacts your growth the most, impacts your views the most, and then select one on the basis of that. Now, I said at the beginning of the video that you can actually use AI to improve your chances of getting more views with this new A/B testing feature for thumbnails, and right now I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So all of these thumbnails that I have created, I created them on this AI tool called Simplified AI, and I use it for multiple different reasons. One, it gives me a set format. Two, it also saves all of my projects well in line, so which means that if I've used an element once and I want to use it again, I can go back, copy it from one project, paste it on another project, and so on. And thirdly, it gives me a lot of these different tools that allow me to add graphic, text, different text styles, colors, gradients, all of these things that you can actually see in my thumbnails on the Simplified design tool itself. So it's been a very helpful tool for me personally, and that is what I use to design all my thumbnails. But why it makes it a lot easier for you to A/B test the right thumbnails is because it also gives you a lot of these templates that are very sound in terms of design, which means they are visually appealing, their color structure is nice, you know, the font combinations are good to go. So you don't have to spend a lot of time thinking of your thumbnails from a design POV when you use an AI tool like this. So I'm going to show you how I designed one of my thumbnails on Simplified here, and once that is done, I am actually going to show you how I upload and test. This is typically what I do when I'm designing a thumbnail. I take my picture, which is generally a screen grab from the video that I am shooting, because that format I have found works really well for my personal channel. And then I will go to Simplified. I will just do one click background remove on the thumbnail tool itself, so it removes the background, and then I can, behind the background, add the different images that I want. These are the set of images that I have chosen. Then I can just adjust the size of like my face to fit. I will add a little bit of text, I will add shadows, outlines, all of those things, and this is what my ready thumbnail looks like. So now it generally takes me between 5 to 7 minutes to design one thumbnail, because the tool basically does most of the work for me. I don't have to go separately to Photoshop, you know, to remove the background and then to create an outline and all of those things. I can simply do that in one click on this tool itself. And then when I'm done, I will just download this thumbnail, and when I'm uploading my YouTube video, I will just upload this thumbnail and the other two that I have also designed, and my A/B testing is ready to do. Now, if you are somebody like me who has also tried other third-party tools for A/B testing before YouTube's Test and Compare came about, then you know that what YouTube is doing is slightly different from what third-party tools are doing, because they test your thumbnails on the basis of this metric called CTR, or click-through rate, which basically judges how many people click on your video after they see it in their home feed, their browse features, their suggested videos, all of those things. But YouTube actually tests this on the basis of watch time, which means after somebody clicks on that thumbnail, how long are they watching your video for? Another major difference between third-party testing tools and YouTube's Test and Compare is that third-party testing tools do a sequential testing, which means that the test is running for 2 days. On day 1, they will show thumbnail 1 to your audience, and on day 2, they will show thumbnail 2 to the same audience and decide which one performs better depending on which one gets more clicks. YouTube, on the other hand, runs the test on the same time on all 3 thumbnails, but each thumbnail is shown to a separate audience base, right? Now, the problem with third-party testing tools is that if somebody clicked on your video the first time the test was running, they are not very likely to click on your video the second time that test is running. So that makes it a little more inaccurate as compared to YouTube's Test and Compare. But at the same time, the problem with YouTube's Test and Compare is because it's showing it to different set of audiences, they can have different motivations for watching your YouTube video. They might just very different in their approach on YouTube, and that can impact your watch time as well. So both of these features kind of give you mixed results as of now. I would still trust YouTube's Test and Compare more, because so far on all the 6 videos that I have run it on have all crossed 100k views on my channel. And for a little bit of a period there between that was not happening. So I am attributing a lot of that success to this new test and compare feature, and I feel like going forward it will become more seamless as well. So if you've not tried it, I would definitely recommend that you go give it a try right now. It is definitely a game changer for optimizing your thumbnails. But let me tell you this, that it is not a magic bullet. It is not automatically going to get you more views if you have chosen a bad topic, if you are in a niche that's very competitive. If your videos in general are not very good, then YouTube Test and Compare is not magically going to suddenly get you a lot of views. It can help you choose the best thumbnail from a lot of good thumbnails. But if you present it with bad thumbnails, if you already have a bad idea, it can only choose a decent one from a pool of bad thumbnails. So you do need to put in the work to design higher quality thumbnails, like I just showed you how I do it on simplified.com. And even before that, you need to work on your topic selection, your titles, and choosing the right niche for your videos so that you can ensure that your test and compare is like a cherry on top of the cake, and it's not just trying to compensate for your lack of work and your lack of research. That's very important. Now, before I let you guys go, I have a few tips for you to ensure that you can use this feature for its maximum benefit and use it to its full potential. The first thing is, don't just create 3 thumbnails, create 6, 7, 9 thumbnails if you can. And when you do this, you are basically churning your brain again and again to work at different design concepts, and this in the long run, like within a month, your thumbnail designing skills will become a lot better than 90% of creators out there. I design 9 to 15 thumbnails every single week for the 3 channels that I am working on. And that helps me understand design aesthetic a lot better. 2 is to make all of the thumbnails that you're testing as different from each other as possible, right? Try not to make like similar variations of the same design. That one delays the time it takes for your test to complete. And 2, it might not be the best concept, right? You think this is a great design idea or a design concept, but it might not be the case. A lot of the times where we think we are coming from does not stand true for the audience, and you won't know what is working with the audience unless you have like a huge pool to experiment with. The third thing is that if you're not satisfied with the first round of results that your test gives you, you can actually run it again with another set of thumbnails. So make sure you do that. So let's say that for this video, I see that this thumbnail 1 is the winner. It's gotten 36.8% of watch time, but I feel like this thumbnail could be improved. So now I can actually run another test by creating variations of this thumbnail or like this design to figure out which is the best thumbnail picked from those. So now I have tested 6 thumbnails and YouTube is helping me pick the best one out of those. And 3, go and learn about YouTube design. I'm also going to make a separate video on this channel to teach you guys how to create killer thumbnails for your YouTube videos. But for now, go ahead, do some research on your end and let me know in the comments if you have tried this feature. How did it work out for you? What are the questions that you have regarding this feature? And I'm going to see you guys very soon in the next one. Bye.